Okay, so we're going to do a reading. I'm waking up. I'm having my coffee. It's time for tarot and coffee. I know they say tarot and tea and everything, but I like tarot and coffee and stuff if I'm waking up. Sometimes it might be tarot and wine. I get some insight with just a little bit, just a little bit. You don't want to have too much wine when you do read because, oh, hell, and stuff. That'll bring on the dark forces. So, yeah, you don't want to get loaded. I do in a reading. And I personally, even just to kind of throw in, smoking pot, it's probably not a good idea either. I know, please don't, tarot readers who like to smoke pot before read, come at me, messaging me and talking to me about it and everything. Please don't do that. I don't want to hear about it. It's just not a good idea. Okay. I don't know. Maybe you do a good job. Maybe I shouldn't judge. Anyway, I've never done it. I don't know. Maybe you do get good reads. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But we're going to do the read on Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And I know this is a big thing going on. And, I'll tell you, I'm not always in tune with celebrities and what's going on. If it weren't for me, scrolling through YouTube at night, sometimes I just, sometimes that's my moment. I just like to, just kind of zone out and not be so serious. Let's put it that way. I'm a very serious Capricorn. So I'm, I really like to focus on spiritual things and things like that, of course. But, sometimes I just, and I do look at the news, of course. You guys know I do current events. I will talk about those and everything. But sometimes I just like to kind of zone out, watch funny stuff, be entertained, things, just have a good laugh. That's one of the things. I've got a crazy sense of humor. I watched Karen videos, and I really like Charlotte Delbray. I really like her videos. She does some real good react stuff. Cinnamon Toast Ken, I like him too. He's fun. But I love, and one of my favorite is 90 Day Fiance Reacts. One of my favorites. I love, because I'm a big 90 Day Fiance fan. And that's one of my indulgences. On Sundays, watch 90 Day Fiance, have my little indulgence and stuff. And then I like to look at, of course, more serious things. And I'm reading and I'm doing things and I'm working on my own growth, But sometimes you got to just kind of let loose and just zone out and be a little goofy. But here, okay, so let's talk. So, but if I do celebrities, and I don't do them a lot, if you look at my channel, I'm not normally focused too heavy on celebs. But if there is something that really becomes a big part of the collective conscious with a celebrity, with something going on, I definitely want to look at it. That it's making an impact. So like the Will Smith slap, really it was powerful on the collective conscious, not just because of the slap, okay, but what came forth with a very serious issue with Jada and Will, their relationship, and open discussion all over social media, about women and men, and how they treat, that men are even impacted on a deeper level, that they can even be abused and are suffering, and the emotion and all that's really come forward. Okay, with Will Smith, there are a lot of people that have empathy for Will Smith with what's going on and things like that. And he's not necessarily out there just let's kind of put it out there. He's not necessarily trying to get empathy for his relationship situation, in the sense that, he doesn't want to be seen, I'm sure, as, a demasculated type of male. This is something that is very hard on men, to kind of come forward and things, and a couple years ever since the affair came out. And I read on that a few years ago. If you guys dig, if you want to dig, I read before she came out and acknowledged that it was true. But I did read at the time August came forward. And I just was like, let's see if this is true. Something told me to do that reading, even though, once again, I don't necessarily do celebrities a lot. But apparently coming to the future, there would be this, right? I didn't know that was going to happen, but something told me to do that read. Okay, so you never know. You never know why Spirit's going. I want you to sit down with the tarot and talk to the people, So, but right now, we have two very significant male celebrities in the media to appear who have gone through abuse by women. Now, I know there are some people that are Team Amber, but with what has come forward, okay, over the years, it's looking and appearing, okay, like Amber was the majority of the time, at least, it appears to be the aggressor and the abuser. Okay, in the situation, he's got her on tape, admitting to hitting him. He's got her on that. We had the cut finger. She chopped up his finger. There's allegations she made a crap in the bed. There is photos of Johnny Depp beat up and cigarette burned even. If some people remember the cigarette burn, I doubt anybody would do that to themselves. Okay, there's all, why would he? Why would he want to, go through that? And most men do not want to admit they're being abused, guys. Okay, there is something in society that men do not want to admit this, and it's bringing something into the collective conscious, and I feel it's going to start more conversation with Johnny Depp's trial, which is what we're going to read on here, if he'll be successful, okay. And we're going to see what other things Spirit may have to say on it. Okay, Spirit's probably got a lot to say, but it's going to bring some conversation. Now, remember, one of the things that happened a few years ago, and one of the things Amber Heard kind of tried to use this a little in her favor, okay, is the Me Too movement came forward. We had the Harvey Weinstein and all this, and even Kevin Spacey with Men to Men, and various things coming forward about what celebrities had gone through as far as sexual harassment and abuse and rape and all kinds of things. And then also, with very powerful men, and then also which sparked a discussion that many people were tagging Me Too, and many women telling their stories and all kinds of things. But even some men were doing it. They're coming forward. But now what we're having is two, celebrities who were pretty powerful, in Hollywood and everything, and with movies, and also very loved, and how they've been affected, because of their relationships. Johnny Depp was kind of getting canceled. Okay, well, kind of. He definitely lost movies. Pirates of the Caribbean, Fantastic Beasts. In certain things, he's definitely been hurt. And even when Will Smith did the slap, and then people still applauded, gave him applause for his award, people were all on Twitter talking about, wow, Will Smith goes and slaps someone, and he gets applause from the Academy, but Johnny Depp, things are coming forward that he's the abused guy. Okay, but before, you canceled various movies and contracts, and drag the guy, but it's kind of come forward and come to light that these things weren't true and stuff, and he doesn't get his movies back. He doesn't, get, his reputation back and everything, and stuff. You shun him, but then what do you do with Will when he goes slap somebody, So there was a lot of support for Johnny Depp even coming out of that. So it's pretty amazing, what's going on. But the reason, like I said, I'm going to do this reading, of course, is because this is coming into the collective conscious, and it's got to be doing it for a reason. Okay, which is males that are going through abusive situations, that it happens to them too, and stuff. And apparently, it's looking like Amber Heard is the aggressor, and she really started something like in 2016. When it's time to come out of the divorce, she emerges in public with little bruises, and she's got photos and things like that, and accuses, Johnny Depp of throwing the phone at her, and hitting her in the face and so forth. So there's a lot of stuff coming. That's what sparked it all. That was the spark and everything. Then after that, everybody's coming after Johnny Depp. Okay, so it's heavy duty stuff. But the lawsuit, now there was a lawsuit, I believe 2018, you guys could correct me if I get it wrong. Sometimes I things happen, but in 2018, he tried to sue the UK for The Sun because they called him a wife beater in an article. Now, their laws are a little bit different when it comes to press and things. It's not exactly the same as the US. He lost. So that was, he lost. But this time he's suing Amber Heard for $50 million. okay, for defamation and, certain things that have impacted him. Now, the whole lawsuit stems from an interview she did in the Washington Post. Now, she talked about domestic violence and experiences she had. She did not name him. She thinks she's slick, right? But, the lawsuit is saying, pretty much that, one can reasonably assume she was talking about Johnny Depp. Okay, so for one, there we have that there. There's certain things that are being said in this. Okay, come to that. Now, another thing, when they had their divorce, I'm going to put on the heat here. I'm getting cold. When they had their divorce, there was an agreement, okay, that they were not supposed to be talking about each other in the press. Okay, there was an agreement. We're done with this. Okay, we call it truce, and I wonder if the truce card is going to pop up, because I'm going to use Thoth. You guys, I always use Thoth for my courts. Okay, so there, but there was an agreement. We're not supposed to do that. So her argument is, well, I never named him. Okay, but we, knowing that their marriage is a very public marriage, in the sense all that went down, okay, we can reasonably assume that she was talking about Johnny Depp. That anybody with half a brain, with even a modicum of intelligence, can assume that when she's talking about domestic violence in this article, she's talking about Johnny Depp. Okay, so that's where the defamation comes. Of course, that's when she's doing this interview, that is defamation. It is to hurt him further, okay, in the public. It is to slander him and so forth. And it also even accusation, even to impact him, even financially. Which certainly, if people believe he is this horrible domestic violence abuser, okay, that this hurts him, his reputation, that he can't get jobs, he can't work, right? So there's a whole lot there, and he's taken a stand and is like enough. And really, if she was smart, she would have just dropped the issue. Now, also, not that it's going to be a part of the lawsuit necessarily, but just as far as to kind of give an idea about her character, okay, is that, after the divorce, she got $7 million. So obviously they must have had a prenup in there, right? She got $7 million, and she claimed, she's trying to be like this good person, and I'm going to donate it to charity. I'm going to write a check and donate to various charities. She wasn't going to keep the money, but apparently, as it stands today, that hasn't happened. Okay, so, and she's kind of dragging her feet and making excuses why she hasn't donated yet. So, there's talk of that never happened. So that's just kind of, just something she said and everything, try to make her look good, but it never happens. Okay, so there's a lot there. Now there's a whole lot more scandal. It doesn't end there. Okay, it doesn't end there, because we have a couple, people are supposed to be coming into this trial that they have to kind of talk. Apparently, they're getting subpoenaed there, and that's James Franco and the very well-known Elon Musk. Okay, that they both kind of had a thing with her. Now, Elon Musk, he denies that he was seeing Amber Heard when she was with Johnny Depp. But the receipts are out there, okay, that there are text messages between Amber Heard and Elon Musk, even talking about Johnny Depp at certain situations. Okay, so we know definitely they knew each other while she was with Johnny Depp, but there's definitely some receipts out there that seem to imply that there was probably something going on, and that may pop up in the read if Elon Musk was actually having an affair with her. Not that that is the reason for them being in the interview, or being in the trial, but apparently one of the things they are trying to establish in this trial is apparently around the time when she comes out with the bruise, they had been around her at that time, seen her within about a week or so of the moment, and they have to answer if when they saw her with their own two eyes if she had those bruises, because a lot of people believe the bruises may be self-inflicted. Okay, to kind of make the appearance that Johnny Depp, had done this. So there are a lot of people out there that believe they were self-inflicted. I mean, would you bang yourself up a little bit because you want to get back at somebody, but apparently, just trying to destroy him seems to be something she's been wanting to do. There's some heavy duty stuff there. So it's a lot to unpack, and I'm sure it's got to be emotional for him to have to go through this. But, he's kind of taking a stand for himself, but he lost a lot of money, and his reputation was very much hurt with everything that went on. And then here comes, another stab with this interview with the Washington Post. Okay. And, which I'm sure, Washington Post, like, ooh, makes for great news. People will be clicking and reading our stuff and stuff, but this impacted him. So that's what we're going to read on. So we want to read on the trial. Let me pull up a little bit here. We want to kind of read on the court case and see, will he be successful and stuff. But I would like to see if Elon Musk pops up in there. But I'm finding it a little hard to believe that that he wasn't having a thing with her, at the time they were married. It was definitely at the tail end of it. Okay, it was definitely at the tail end, but there does seem to be, something there. But it looks like he got out of it. Okay, who knows what would have happened to him, and so forth. And it apparently messed up his one relationship with one Canadian singer. I can't think of her name at the moment. The one he has a child with. Some things got messed up, and there's even speculation that somehow, maybe inadvertently, and I'm not saying Jason Momoa had an affair with Amber Heard. Do not get me wrong, but apparently Lisa Bonet really does not like her. Lisa Bonet, I've always liked her. She's very, she feels like a very, very spiritual person, very removed from the celebrity life. Like, she has no social media. She's not on social media. She doesn't care about all that stuff. That's just not her. She's always been very different, very unique, very spiritual, a type of person. She seems like a very beautiful person. But apparently when Amber Heard and Jason Momoa are working on Aquaman, apparently, she did not like her and stuff like that. I feel it's kind of a rumor thing that maybe, that Amber Heard may be a part of the reason why there's a divorce thing, or aggravated the situation. Maybe, I'm not sure if that's necessarily true, but there's a little bit of that. I don't feel Jason Momoa would have had an affair with Amber Heard. I think he's way above that. He's a class act. I don't feel that's the issue. But maybe due to a friendship or something, maybe there was some issues. There could have been something that kind of aggravated a situation, is what I kind of feel, maybe. So, but let's go and check it out. Let's get to the read now that I kind of prepped you guys, talk about it. But it's, definitely impacting the collective, with what's going on, issues with men and abuse. Okay, men that are popular or power, and just how, your star can rise and then fall. Okay, let's focus on Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. Court case, how's it going to go? Can we get an answer? Defamation is a tough thing to win, though, just so you guys know. This is not a cut and dry case here and everything. He better have good lawyers, but she's got good lawyers, too. Oh, they would love to be a part of a case like this, And just because he's suing for $50 million doesn't mean he would get $50 million. It really depends. But apparently the jury's only 7 people. It's different in a civil case. You don't need 12. And they do tell them, stay away from social media. Don't be reading articles. But the juries are going to do it. Everybody's curious and they want to get an idea of what's going on. What they want to do their own research. That's what we do in America, is we research, we get on the internet. They're going to do it. They could try to keep them away from a computer, but everybody has a phone. Okay. Johnny Depp. Okay. And we're definitely going to pull some Lenormand in this as well. Cut it right there. Okay. You know, let's see what Spirit has to say about it. Even talk about that. I look at the Sun card. This is what I want you guys to understand. Okay, let me pull up for this one because this is important. This is a good tarot lesson for you guys. And I'm going to teach you about this card. The Sun for me, if I'm reading situations like court, crime, things like that, I'm going to tell you straight the freak up what it means for me. And it's a very important one that this card is number one. Spirit wants to make something blatantly clear. The Sun represents innocence, is one of its meanings. Okay, and Spirit's coming in loud and clear. Okay, that Johnny Depp is innocent of these allegations. Okay, let me tell you guys a brief story, and I'm gonna get you back down to the read. This is a powerful one, and because you guys know I read missing persons. Okay, and this is well documented in my group. If you did a little digging, your research, you will find this. So a few years ago, there was a missing person. Somebody came into my group, and it was the Heidi Broussard case. If some of you are not familiar, this is what happened. This was a woman who basically, she had a fiance, okay, very beautiful young mother, just had a baby. Okay, the baby was 2 weeks old. And one day the fiance comes home and everything, the door is wide open, Heidi is gone, baby is gone. Okay, and nothing's, and the dog, I think the dog was kind of put on the balcony. They lived in an apartment. Okay, and she went missing. Family's all concerned, this, that. Okay, so let me just do it real quick. I don't want to blow up the story too hardcore. Okay, but somebody brought the article. I looked at it, read the top article, what the situation going on. And my mind went, somebody wanted to steal the baby. Okay, that's what Spirit told me. Okay, so, but this is what social media did. And it got all over Facebook, social media. Everybody was talking about this case. So some of you may remember it. Some of you may not, as it was a few years ago. I don't know. I didn't do this on YouTube because I don't think I was doing YouTube at the time. I'm not sure. Or maybe, I don't know. I just hadn't. So anyway, but I did do videos in my group. And so when I did my reading on it, it was coming very clear that a woman had befriended her. And what I felt is this woman was faking a pregnancy. Okay, there were certain cues that were popping up in here that I felt a woman was faking a pregnancy, had befriended her in some way and stuff. And then after Heidi had the baby, took her, killed her, and stole the baby. And that's what I felt happened. That's not what social media believed. The social media didn't even go there. I didn't see anybody saying that. Maybe there was a few psychics that did. I just didn't see it. But everybody on social media felt it was the fiance. That the fiance did it. And they were destroying this man. And when he did interviews, one of the things he did at interview, and I feel it was just he was distraught. But one of the things that people may say is if they don't look in the camera when they're talking. He wasn't looking in the camera. So there was a lot of people who judged him even on that. Let me go ahead and shift here. There was a lot of people who even judged him on that he wasn't looking in the camera. But the Sun came up for me. Okay, the Sun, that he was innocent. And that's one of the things I said in my reading. He's innocent. The Sun is here. Okay, and everything was pointing out. I was getting the Queen and this, and there were certain things that were popping up, that I had a woman with a barren womb, things like that. So thank God that did not drag out to be months. But within about so many days, week or something, she was found. And what it was is it was her best friend of 10 years. Okay. And what she did, and what I feel happened is apparently the woman lived with her boyfriend, but they were separated. And what I feel happened was that the reason she faked a pregnancy, I feel, was to try to keep the boyfriend. So the boyfriend believed she was pregnant. Heidi believed she was pregnant. Everybody did, and somehow maybe gained weight or something like that. And then, after Heidi is basically, she killed her and stuff, she comes home with the baby, right? Okay, oh, I had my baby, and stuff. But one of the things she did, which was even more sinister, is she claimed when Heidi was pregnant that her due date was the same as Heidi's. Okay, that, oh, we have the same due date. So see, she was lining this up for months, even putting it that we have the same due date. So after Heidi had her baby, she could pop up and have a baby. And they did find Heidi. It was at her house, the woman's house. They were in, this was in Texas. So she had gone, she lived in another city in Texas. And Heidi was in the trunk of a car. Okay, the baby was in the house. Thank God saved. And I did feel the baby was still alive. That was another thing while I did my read. I feel the baby is still alive. There are signs of life here. Okay, and the woman even got so far as to pull all her teeth out. She was going to get rid of the body, and then inevitably probably dump her somewhere, and was maybe hoping that when they find the body, they will never know it's her, because dental records they can't get. So it was a very tragic case. I just wanted to roll that through you real quick, guys. So if you ever watch a readings or you do your own tarot, the sun is innocence. Okay, and that was one of my cues that I knew the man was innocent. So of course, when it came out and everything, that the fiance was innocent, a lot of social media was shocked, and then even people in the group were like, "How did you know that?" And I'm like, "I don't know, tarot told me," and stuff, and there was some comments I made outside of the group, and I remember it's weird. I woke up at 3 a.m. and I had my phone by me, and something told me to look, and because my phone was going off and off, and there were people that when I commented outside on other news things, they were like, "Oh my God, you were right, you were right." I didn't say I was a psychic, but I gave my theory, so it was a tripped out thing. Son is innocent. Johnny Depp is innocent. Okay, I know that's a very long thing I just gave you, but if you ever see that in tarot, that is a good cue that you're dealing with an innocent person. Okay, so that's the one thing here. And he's been struggling with that, with the allegations of abuse, trying to show he's an innocent man. I did not beat this woman. I was not doing these things to her and things like that. This has got to be hard. So I'm very glad that became my very first card. Okay, so let's kind of go there. Yeah, the Seven of Cups, that makes me feel definitely there's some addictions there. Now, I do feel Johnny Depp does have a problem. He's got a drinking problem, and one of the nasty things she did was show video of him pretty wasted, with things like that. But he's probably also getting wasted because he's hit an abusive relationship, he's suppressing it. But I feel she's got addiction. So we've got some kind of addiction there, and kind of going in there and aggravating the situation. So definitely I feel we've got a couple of addicts in here, that just made it worse. So let's kind of go ahead and look at what we got here. Now, I actually feel this is a Temperance card, but in this deck, it's also the card art. Okay, it's a little different in the Thoth, and I feel one of the things that he is an artist. He is a celebrity, and as well he is an artist, and so forth. So this has impacted him to be able to express his art, do his jobs, and things like that, and so forth. And he's definitely that is a big thing with him. And we've got the Knight of Wands energy here. He definitely has a lot of passion, love for the art and everything, and he wants to work. This is one of the things, the man wants to work and stuff. And sorrow, the heartache. This really hurt him. I feel he loved this woman. He did. He was obviously very attractive. She's a very pretty girl. She's very beautiful. But you know what? What's going on the inside? How beautiful are you on the inside to be this ugly, to another human being? Okay, so now let's get to the nitty gritty here. Okay, we want to talk court case. Yeah, the betrayal. The betrayal. There's all kind of betrayal, but especially, what she's done to him in the media. This is a hard thing to suffer. The shadiness, the lying, the deceit. Seven of Swords especially is about the betrayal, the lying, the deceit, the faking of evidence, all that stuff. That is all part of that card, okay? So, yeah, so she's shady and so forth. And we've got the Princess of Pentacles that is popping up in here. Some of that, even I feel, is to, establish herself, get financially. I feel she was looking for a payday and some things like that. She did get $7 million, not a huge thing necessarily in a divorce. Even Chris Rock's wife, if you saw that reading I did on Chris Rock, got 40 million, but they weren't married for very long and things like that. But she's looking at her own career and wanting to establish herself and so forth. And let's kind of look. There we go. And I've got the hangman, the suspension. So I feel one of the things that this is saying is that divorce decree, like I was talking about. There was an agreement we were going to suspend all this. We were going to stop all this and everything. And didn't happen. It didn't happen. But there's a few other things I'm going to unpack on the hangman too. Also, okay, that's coming through. Spirit has hit me with. It's not just that. Also, the hangman represents even perception. Okay, that people are trying to influence and so forth our perception of how we see this situation and so forth. Definitely, Amber is trying to influence perception. Okay, of how we see the situation. Okay, so that's there too. Let's go ahead and look at that. So we've got the Prince of Discs, and right now I feel that's even, with the financial of Johnny Depp and so forth. I got to look at his astrology chart. I'm telling you, but being able to kind of get out there, make money, this is a big thing, to be able to do that has really been hurt. And so forth, to be able, in his career, and this is always going to loom over him, as some kind of scandal, so there's a lot of that, and that's what he's trying to say in here. We've got the Tower, I really feel this is so deep, but this is kind of his career, his life, and how heavily he's been impacted, okay, with this. Everything is just crumbled down. It's not what it was. And another thing I feel that even in the courtroom, even if he can win in court, the public perception of him is always going to be different. There are going to be people that are Team Amber, okay, and stuff, and it's good, he's to gain that back, it's just, it's near impossible at this point. That so there's a lot that has been destroyed, and that's what he's expressing with this court case here and so forth. But look at that. When I focus on Johnny, I got the gain card. So he just may be successful in this lawsuit. This time, this may be the one. Okay? All right? So the gain card is there. That's showing in his favor that he's got a good shot here, that Spirit's implying, that we're going to do that. And then we've got the Four of Cups in here and so forth. So that kind of makes me feel... Let me go ahead and look at that. There might be some kind of thing they try to work out to not go all the way to the end of the trial, offering Johnny something to kind of just end it. Because I have a feeling some juicy stuff is going to be coming out in this trial. But I feel he's going all the way. He's going to ignore that and so forth. Amber's worried about this. And being impacted financially. So she's got a lot of fear. That's in the hopes and fears position. The outcome, the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords popping up. Now, I got to get a clarifier next to that Queen of Swords star. Light at the end of the tunnel. So a couple things here. Very interesting. And I'm going to pull some Lenormand. But it looks like, I feel the Queen of Swords, she is the outcome. I feel that really represents her, that things kind of come to light, that the Queen of Swords can be rough with that sword, right? Okay, with brutal. She can't be abusive. She's known to do that. I feel that's going to come to light, okay, that she's proven the abuser. And I look at this star, I want you to think, what do we call celebrities? We call them stars. Okay, so I do feel that this court case is going to help him regain some of that, a little bit of him, as a star. He's got the gain card in his position, which makes me feel we got a shot here, okay, of winning this court case. Which I'm actually a little surprised because defamation is a hard thing. So I'm rooting for him. I'm hopeful. Look at that. He's got the virtue card. There's an innocence here. And I feel really in the sense he didn't want to do this. Just so you know, he's not vengeful, he's not spiteful. He really didn't want to do this, but he kind of feels, that he kind of has to, okay, make a statement to the public, what's going on. He wants the truth to come out, but he also wants to make it very well known to her that she needs to stop dragging him through the mud. And she did not need to go to the Washington Post and talk about all this crap. Okay, she's got a big mouth. She's just got a big mouth and everything. And I know she's trying to purport herself as innocent and everything. But we've got that failure card and everything. Just like as I was tuning into her, that her going into, this situation and talking about him is a major failure. It worsened her. What she tried to accomplish, okay, is actually going to hurt her in the end. Seven of Pentacles can be a loss of finances. Okay, so it's going to cost her. So it looks good he can win this case. Okay, this looks good. Now, I don't know if he's going to get the whole 50 million. I don't know. They may lower it. I am not sure. But you know what? He probably should. Okay, he probably deserves it. Or look at a few things. I got the card Thoughts. Everybody's got a lot of thoughts on it. See that man kind of look at that woman and everything there. Everybody's kind of got a thought and opinion on this case. It's going to spark, the more it's going to be, the case is supposed to be televised, so it's going to be a big thing. But yeah, we've got that occupation card. A lot of this has to do, him being able to work his job. This is his art, just like the art card popped up and everything, and of course we've got the marriage card. What they went through in the marriage is going to be discussed and everything. And then I've got the child card. He does have children. I feel he's also looking at that as well, and it's just, he's been on a big journey here. Poor guy. He's really been on a big journey. But look at that. False person. There you go. See, we got that woman with the little thing. What do you call those things? The fan. It took me a minute. Sorry. The woman with the fan kind of covered her face and everything. The false person. Okay, which makes me feel she falsified those injuries. Ooh, it's real juicy. My reads are juicy, guys. You need to, if you have not subscribed, subscribe. I do lots of, the truth comes to light on this channel. Okay, but yeah, she's a false person and so forth. But you know what? When I look at the Distance Horizon card, you know what this kind of makes me think of is his Jack Sparrow movies and so forth. With the ship. This is a big one. This really hurt him. He loved Pirates of the Caribbean. See the ship? Pirates of the Caribbean. Look at that. And I feel the Distant Horizon is, looking back, those were the good days. That's when my life was so good. I feel he has real fond memories. And losing Pirates of the Caribbean to be cut by Disney, that character is I feel it's almost one of his most beloved characters. He's a character actor, so he assumes roles, so many different characters there. It's almost spooky how Johnny Depp can do that. It's almost eerie how he can become different people. To the point you just like, who is the real Johnny Depp? When he does this, he's just, God, I remember him from 21 Jump Street. Whoa, that card just flew. What is that? Always watch the flying card. The Heart. Yeah, and that's what I feel he really loved this woman. This hurts his heart, and everything. And I feel relationships for him will just never be the same again. He's always going to have to be safe and cautious and things like that. Oh, this is very interesting. So I get the House card in the Lenormand, but let me read it. A stately house beyond the gate bestows stability upon your fate. In love and play, your chance to win depends on how you first begin. Okay, so a lot of this, it looks like he has a chance to win, but it really depends how he plays, how everything starts and everything. So he has a chance to win there, right? There you go. I had to look at that. I love the messages on here. And we've got the Gentleman card. The Principal card shows the man tried and true, held in high regard, He tells fortune for you. And upon BS, if the cards read well, the worst says that best cards foretell. Okay, so kind of, yeah, and certain the heart, the love, yeah, the lilies. Yeah, he just really loved her and so forth. But she's a snake. She wanted to bite him. Okay, so yeah, so definitely, and that's why I know I kind of rambled about the sun, but it's real important. One of the things, I do try to get the truth out in my reads as much as possible, but the innocence of the man is there. Okay, so if there's any kind of doubts on that, hopefully just, I feel like Spirit's like, yeah, the innocent. I don't feel he was necessarily, I'm not saying he was the perfect husband. I do feel, the Seven of Cups is popping up in there. There are some addiction issues there. Okay, there are some demons the man struggles with. Okay, that he's got to get a handle on, and so forth. And even some of his, addiction type of issues that he has probably contributed to him making poor choices in relationships. Apparently, he did have a 14-year relationship. The one woman, I would have to Google to find her name, but it's okay. It's not too important. But they still have a friendship. They're still, and he probably should have just stayed with that woman. He probably should have done that. That's the one he had children with and everything. And then this comes along, and she's probably, I'm sure, a product of a little bit of a midlife crisis. It happens, a midlife crisis in there. And, it just went just very, wrong, got very toxic and very brutal. And so he's paying the price for it. He doesn't deserve this, though. He doesn't deserve to have to go through this. But he's got that gain card. And the innocence, I'm hoping here with that virtue and gain, that a lot comes to light, that there is an innocence there. Because one of the things, and that is important, that has to be kind of put into the court case. See, you got to understand, because to prove defamation, okay, also is these things cannot be true. Okay, and things like that. There's a big thing. But she's trying to put it out there, obviously, I didn't use his name, though. Come on, do you think we're stupid? Do you think the public is stupid? We all know who you're talking about if you're talking about domestic violence, when it's been very well publicized. What the hell YouTube been going through? She used the media to try to get people on her side. She's an actress, probably not a very good one, but she's an actress, and that's what she thinks. I can act my way out of this shit. Okay, so we're probably gonna have some crocodile tears and various crap from her because she's an actress. And things like that. So very interesting. But I do like the fact, the star, that final card there at the outcome. We've got her as Amber Heard, but I feel he gets the star. That's a big thing. It says something, that he has the ability to rise and stuff. And with her career, she still scored Aquaman after all this, is amazing. But, she's the one who really needs to be canceled. She does. So I feel this court case, with it being especially televised, and I'm definitely going to want to watch some of it, not the whole thing, but, I'm going to want to watch the important snippets. I feel it's going to be some very powerful information and stuff. So, I guess I'm Team Johnny. I'm definitely Team Johnny here and stuff. I know the man's innocent and stuff, but he's, we got to... Ooh, the midlife crisis. It can be a tough one and stuff. But, it's his career is probably never going to be the same, though. It's not going to be the same, but, give it time. I just hope the man can heal. I feel he's been through a lot, but he's got to work on, the drinking, the various things. He's got to get a handle on that. Okay, we'll see how it goes.